Okay, now that we're done with cleaning up the whole everything, so let me select all the levels. Remember, we didn't add the shades to this model, so I'll go ahead and do that. I go here in snapshots, and then similar to how we added the rooms, it's the same thing. Instead of open, select the second one and import model, and you should import the shade. One thing that you might have noticed, I changed my units to feet. So when it imported it, it already knows that this was in feet, but sorry, I changed my units to meters, and it just scaled it up to meters. So it's the right scale. Excuse me, it does take care of the scaling, so you don't need to be worried about that. Okay, now I have all the shades here too. Let me select everything and visualize it. Now this is the full model with shades, everything that we needed, and you can see it takes the filtering that I had before. If you want to see walls and roof and ceiling, you can do that. This might be also a good place if you want to run solve adjacency and do ceiling adjacency, so you can also do it in preview. So let me show you what happens. So now that I run it, if I turn off the roof, where is it? Roof here. So you can see these ones are interior floors now. This one, and we have interior floors, and then we have ceilings. So if you just do that and you see anything left, then that's probably a bug. The solve adjacency didn't its job, because when you do solve adjacency between the levels, right, they should be all next to each other, so you should see none of them. Okay, we have all this, we have the shades. Let's start exporting and talking about export options. So the best part, I think, about the pollination ecosystem is like when you clean up your model. Now this is an IES VE model, this is an Energy Plus model, this is an eQuest model, you know, IDA-ICE model, all the options that we have here. You can use it for all of this. You don't have to make any changes, but every software has its own, you know, way that they want the model to be prepared. For example, in IES VE, you want everything to be snapped to grid, right? You don't want them to be like here in the middle of the grid. So the grid that I have here, if you remember, is 0.5 meter. So let's make it even smaller. Let's do 20 centimeters so you can see. So this is even smaller, but you see they're not snapped to the grid, so it makes it really hard to edit it when you export as a gem file. So to fix that, or it's not really fixing, but to just make it work for IES VE better, so I can select everything, and then I can use this command and snap it to grid, and then set the size that I want. This size can be different from the size of the preview, just keep in mind. So you have to change the number here if you need. So again, I put 0.2 for 20 centimeters, and I run this. And now if I zoom in, all of them, including shades, should be snapped to all this grid that I had. You usually want to do this before running solve adjacency, because now based on these moves, we might have issues, right? If I run validation, yes, I'm getting an error about missing adjacency because things have moved around. So this is easy to solve. One is you can just rerun the solve adjacency, right? The second one is, because you're going to IES VE, you actually don't want to have the solve adjacency, because IES VE does the solve adjacency internally, and you don't want to have all these segments in your model too. So if I go, for example, to first level, just show you as an example, entry level. So this is now all segmented. This is something that IES VE does for you automatically internally. So what I would do is, I'm still going to run solve adjacency, right? I don't need ceiling. And I'm going to use Alt and E to make sure there is nothing missing, because I don't want to be an issue, right? When I put it in IES VE, I don't want to have a gap, and IES VE doesn't get the gap and misses them to be next to each other, so it thinks it's exterior. But then right before exporting it to IES VE, I'm going to select everything and use this command to join coplanar faces, which also sets everything to exterior. So this is first level, Then I'm going to second level, right? And again, this was a case that I did it the wrong way, right? I should have done, if I knew I want to go to ISVE, I should have done the snap to grid before starting any of the cleanup. So now again, let's do Alt E. So this is okay. Let's go to the third level. And this one is already fine. Let's just do it again. So now I can see everything is fine. Then I'm going to select all the levels, make everything visible, right? Press Alt E so the thing is gone. Then I can select everything, and I can basically use this command here to simplify and clean up everything right before exporting it to ISVE. So now I can go to gem and then download, and that will be the gem file that I have created from this model. Of course, I can open it in ISVE, but you have seen several videos that we have done that, so trust me, it works. And yes, if it doesn't, let us know. Because as I mentioned before, I do include in this video too, if something doesn't work, if the model is valid, you have cleaned it up, if you put the time, it's our responsibility to make sure all the work that you have done is basically has been worthwhile. So if you export it and there is an issue, then it's on us. It's a bug, we will fix it. If we cannot fix it, we give all your money back, right? Just let us know. Don't try workarounds or all those stuff. We want to just fix this geometry issue, and I think we have done it. Just to be clear, GBXML is not included, right? The ones that we wrote, they exported. GBXML is still tricky, but we should be very close to something that most of the software accepts. In any case, so that was ISVE. Then the next one that I'm going to show you is, let's go for eQuest and talk about some model simplification.